That could have been taken a couple of different ways, but Fooky's default is always travesty. Look, if you guys don't trust me and think you can handle this on your own, best of luck, boys. I don't think Hank realized just how off the hook he was letting Fooky by not insisting on reading this contract before he presented it to Megumi. And I don't know who was more relieved. The way Hank told him sternly, "Look, Fook, we all appreciate your enthusiasm, just know when to dial it down. That's what managers do." Then, after Dickie told him, "You know, this means you have to move to Nashville with us, right?" Fooky relaxed his grip on the steering wheel and allowed the left side of his lip to slide up, almost into a curl, as if to say, it's all coming together. Standing beneath the shadow of the large wooden sign that reads, Cooper's, Hank stops short, blocking the door, still wet with glistening red paint that gives it the look of a target. After a brief lecture, he reminds us that if we blow this, Megumi may have no choice other than to give some buskers off the street the chance of a lifetime. After a nod, he says, "Alright, so let's try and not fuck this up all the way then." And then, when he can delay no longer, he opens the large red door. The bell above the front door jingled, but Megumi did not look up from her phone to shout, "Just put the Jameson next to the bar." Fooky shouted in a long, drawn-out "Yes!" as he unzipped his black Adidas jacket. "We're having an Irish breakfast." Moving in for a friendly hug, he asked if the drinks were still on the house for the band in the form of an unthreatening joke. Resting the phone on her shoulder, she offers a firm handshake and gestures for her trusty waitress turned personal assistant, Olivia, to come and then quickly go. She calls the person on the other end Murphy Lee and tells him, "One of the bands is here. Yeah, just let me know how many seats to save you and the St. Lunatics." Megumi does not smile before offering a deep and honorific bow. Only the slightest hint of a cheeky smile can be detected through her lavender lips before sliding into a choppy Asian accent. Fooky-san. Yes, my friend. The band drinks for free. But not the, roadie? The painter's drop cloths line the perimeter of the dull Mazama hardwood floor, leading the eye around the room like a carousel until landing on the bar. A solid gold plate is bolted to the corner of the glossed mahogany bar top that reads, "The Coopers, Live House and Irish Pub," with a cigarette left burning in an antique crystal ashtray next to a golden hourglass. A Tanoshi Urashi fountain pen flipping between her wine-colored fingernails, Megumi sits high upon her golden bar stool. Two red pillars stand trembling on either side of the bar from the slamming of jackhammers. The horns from the mariachi music crackling painfully from out of the boom boxes and the stench of industrial-strength paint thinner do nothing to faze her. With the sand slipping smoothly down the narrow neck of the Gothic timepiece, despite bearing the weight of the Halloween monster mash on her shoulders, Megumi handles herself with the resilience that would make Atlas himself shrug. We offer to get our own beers, but she insists on pouring them for us and thanks us for coming and sets out 2 bowls of steaming edamame, and after Dickie and Megumi complete their secret multi-stepped handshake, he tells her he loves what she's done with the place and calls her Megs. We all stand, gazing upwards for a moment to soak in the fresh renovations that give the place the feel of an Irish pub with a cool Asian twist. Well lit and clean, yet maintaining the moody atmosphere that has always given this place its charm. Megumi wipes her hands off on her Grecian-style apron and tightens the dark purple strap around her waist, laughing and saying, "Oh gosh, Tim Dillon was right about you guys." Through the pain, she insists that she's not complaining, and only after being pushed does she show us a clip of the comedian on stage. He jokes about that frat boy's daddy being a lawyer and roasting all the haters, calling us problematic. She's giggling modestly into the palm of her hand as the reel finishes. "St. Louis's most dangerous band, all right. Jesus, look at that body count," Tim is saying into the microphone. "Everyone that comes near those monsters gets murdered." The next short is a middle-aged drunk lady, chock full of tolerance, calling us misogynistic pigs, but all I can do is allow my imagination to run wild. I can see myself as clearly as a mushroom trip, playing to a packed house, a lone spotlight beaming down on me as I sit upon a tall wooden stool, maybe rocking a cowboy hat. My silver skull ring shines as I play an extended intro to Funhouse Mirrors on Dickey's 12-string. From center stage, I imagine everything. From the white green room with the funny, old-fashioned lock and key to the glossy four-tops that are strategically placed islands floating on a choppy sea of chaos. Following the tall, dark red bar stools to a spiral stairway that leads to the second-floor VIP section where Olivia is polishing the champagne buckets, she glances upward, and it's then that it occurs to her for the first time. All that glitters may not be gold. There's a part of each of us that will miss Drunk Eddie's rickety old place we grew to love simply because we lived with it for so long. The boys and I drank here rain or shine, day or night. We played for heartache and we played for freedom. The one thing I'm only now noticing is that key element that Megumi must have seen all along, like a budding spark of divinity. Potential. When Meg shouts at the painters to turn off the music, Dickie, Hank, and I head to the stage so she and Fook can talk business. Getting acquainted with some of the new equipment, one of the cats with the painting crew recognizes us. When he called Dickie by name, I correctly assumed it was one of his cartel cousins, and when he stepped out of the darkness, I saw it was Carlos. Carlos had been over a few times with his sister, who will forever hold a special place in my heart. She had thick, tattooed eyebrows that twitched when she got spicy and squeezed into jeans that appeared painted on over a thick Hispanic ass that seemed to say, "Vamos!" Struggling with a stubborn high E string, I watch Megumi's reaction from the stage when Fook pulls out the envelope containing his contracts. She never breaks her pleasant smile, and she never breaks her locked gaze, though her eyes offer something that resembles more of a smirk. The brightly colored koi swimming up her arm are tattooed like a verb, their bulging eyes burning with determination. Each scar tells the legendary struggle of a warrior, and each one savagely earned. Violet makeup to match the color of her eyes, holding an unmoving glare, reminding Fooky that there are powerful forces that neither his charm nor his connections would be able to save him from should he go too far. After running through Beer Goggle Blues, Hank twirls his drumstick and tells us about not only the online threats, but also some sinister phone calls from unlisted numbers he's been receiving. He tells a paranoid tale of an encrypted voice message and DMs written in all caps, using aggressive jackboot tactics. It's difficult to gauge how conspiratorial he's being when he mentions the brawl at the Chuck D concert and subtly ties them all back to the incident at Joey's. Dickie doesn't call him a tinfoil hat-wearing conspiracy theorist, but does ask him how sure he is that a Molotov cocktail-tossing Irishman was running the dope game. "Not only do I think the myth is real," Hank says, giving a quick drum roll, "I think the dude wants to meet with me. Some cat left a gravelly message saying that the Irishman wanted to meet just to talk. He left an address to some little spot way out in Lesterville." "Meet with me," he said, like he wasn't totally convinced, but then walked me through his thought process. "If this cat is who he says he is, some straight-up IRA operative wanted by 9 governments around the world, if a dude like that really wanted me dead, he could have killed me already. I mean, think about it. We ain't exactly hard to find." We run through You Don't Speak For Me to get comfortable with the stage and do a cover of Arashi's Love So Sweet to get a rise out of Megumi. The room goes dark when the lighting guy experiments with some of the strobing and Dickie pulls the jazz microphone to him. Closing his eyes softly, he slips his hand behind the head of the mic like he was dipping a woman back for a passionate kiss. Even playing to an empty room, his black button-down clings to him like a screaming fan. The negotiations between Fook and Megumi appear to be at a stalemate, and I'm not the only one who notices. Hank motions for me to check out Fook's body language, which looks desperate and casually erratic, while Megumi remains a statuesque goddess. With a drumstick in each hand, Hank's eyes are squinting tightly shut. He's trying to envision a world where he manages to sling a little blow without having his eyelids sliced open with a razor blade by the peaky blinders. He opens his eyes, looks directly into the spotlight, and hits the crash symbol, coming to the conclusion that such a world simply could never exist.